Hello and welcome to Graceful Connections presented by Academy for the Soul. I'm your host, Sophie Bidard, and the co-creator of Graceful Connections together with Christel Hughes, founder of Academy for the Soul, the online school for intuitive arts. Graceful Connections is an adventure of exploration, discovery, healing, liberation, growth, and truthful expression, which is facilitated, amplified, magnified, and blessed really with grace. As graceful connections are woven between you and our expert speakers, your graceful guides into living your divine radiance. Thank you for joining today and bringing your unique vibration, colors, and energetic imprint, without which the world would be missing. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace and the calling of your emotional paradigm to be upgraded, fully supporting and enhancing your intuition. So let's begin. I invite you to relax and take a few deep breaths. Breathing out all that does not belong to this moment. Let's bring all of your attention and your presence here and now. We set our intention that our time together, all that is shared in words and beyond the words, all the energies that we call in and flow serve our highest good, our evolution, and be of service to the highest good of all. I invite you to open your heart and be ready to receive. And I invite you to open your mind and be ready to receive. Remembering your connection to the center, to the heart of the earth, and your connection to the center, to the heart of the universe. So that you are held, both grounded and suspended, you are safe, relaxed, and ready, and open to receive. Now I'm calling the orb of grace from the heart of the universe. And placing the orb of grace around our group, our gathering, each and every one of us. That we be held in the orb of grace and infused with grace all along our time together. Let's take a moment to adjust to the purity and the subtle high frequency of grace, allowing it to gracefully dissolve, realign, harmonize, amplify, magnify all that needs to be so, in purest alignment with divine will and the divine order of grace. And breathe. Beautiful. Now, within the orb of grace, I'm delighted to welcome you to this special masterclass I'm offering to you today. Let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm a master light weaver flowing the purest crystalline light from the great central sun for revelation, liberation, and true self-embodiment. As a trailblazer, I open the path into uncharted territories of consciousness, weaving in light for higher awareness and evolution. I'm a master at clearing the karmic entanglements and resulting stress web, upgrading your multidimensional perception. My passion for finding and expressing the divine within combines with my commitment to breakthroughs, radical transformation, and wisdom recollection. On deep exploratory adventures into the personal and collective shadow, I unweave patterns and whole paradigms of illusion, distortion, obstruction, restriction, disbalance, bridging into new paradigms at high vibrational levels. I guide you into the reclaiming of your masterful nature with lightness and flow, turning burdens of the past into guidance for your path, gathering pearls of wisdom on your way to revealing the truth of who you are to yourself and to the world. I'm an Academy for the Soul master teacher known as the expert in all things emotional, an NLP master practitioner, master energy healer, and I host the Rainbow Illuminations show on Academy for the Soul Radio. And of course, many of you know me for the co-creation and hosting of our online series, Graceful Connections. So with our masterclass today, we're going to explore your emotional mode of operation and whether it is supporting or hindering your intuition. And for that, we need first to set the stage by defining what emotional mastery is and what the requirements are to actually operate with emotional mastery. Mastery of emotions is the ability to fully experience emotions of the moment and to rely on them as the guidance system that they truly are. Emotions serve to guide us towards more of what we want, in fact, more of what we need. In short, towards more love. When something makes us feel emotions that feel good, they guide us towards more of this. When something makes us feel emotions that feel not good, they guide us away from that or guide us to change that or how we experience that. So this constitutes a very precious guidance system. I like to compare it to signalization on the road. Emotions give us green lights, red lights, stop signs, etc., and allow us to journey through life in the safest and most pleasant way that is possible, when we do follow the signs, of course. This signal system only functions in a reliable manner when it is clear. And that it be clear means that it is purely based on emotions of the moment. It is the fear in the moment. When I'm about to cross the street and a big truck comes at full speed, it is that fear in that moment which makes me run away and save my life. And that fear is only relevant at that moment. Minutes and hours and days later, it is no longer needed, and yet we all experience sometimes holding on to past emotions, retelling an old story from yesterday or from very long ago with the same emotional charge, the same rage or fear or shame as when we experienced it, which means that we carry within us emotions from the past. Now, these emotions from the past disturb the signal system, the guidance system. They are like pollution, blurring, distorting, disrupting the guidance. We don't get clear signals. We just swim in an emotional swamp. And it is difficult to navigate through life without the clear guidance of our present emotions. We overreact or freeze. We accumulate stress and disease. We carry burdens within us. It is exhausting, disempowering, creating sickness and depression. But there is also one way in which emotions from the past affect us, which is very perverse and very little known. You see, emotions and memories live in our unconscious mind. It means that they are just there all the time, and we are not conscious of them until they come to the surface. It's like a dark cellar or attic where all sorts of stuff are stored and we don't even know what's there anymore. But these emotions are not just sitting there. They carry an energetic charge, a vibration which acts like a magnet. It attracts that which is of the same energy and the same vibration, which means that when I hold fear in myself, this fear in my unconscious mind will resonate and attract more fear in my life. It will attract fearful situations and people who create fear in me. Same with anger, shame, guilt, whatever emotions you can think of. And the same with positive emotions, of course, but these obviously don't cause a problem, right? We are always okay with attracting more of that, of what makes us feel joy, right? Not so much okay about attracting more of what makes us feel fear, for example. So the fear in me that I hold from the past, over time, it attracts and creates more fear, and it becomes like a snowball. It keeps growing and growing and growing, and it is unbearable, heavy, and it totally disrupts our guidance system. It creates chaos in our life. Our life is out of control, and we have no clue what to do about it. Well, there is only one thing to do about it. It is to get rid of the bunch of anger, of sadness, of fear, of pain, of guilt, of shame, and of despair that we carry inside, which belong to the past. The past in this current lifetime, since we were born, even before our birth, we may have received emotions from our mother while we were in the womb. And we inherit emotional burdens from generations before us, as well as from our own past lives. The traumas that have affected us and our ancestors have left traces in our unconscious minds. And these emotional imprints belonging to the past are messing up with our guidance system in the present. So, how can emotional mastery be achieved? Well, the key to emotional mastery is to have a clear guidance system without the disruptive burden of the emotions from the past. And that means living in the guidance of the emotions of the present. And with that, we can simply enjoy the ride of life, enjoying the journey, following the signalization, just like on the road. When we perceive the feeling of an emotion, we get it as a signal, and we may need to pause for a moment to really receive the message, the meaning of this signal. What does this emotion intend to let me know, to let me see, notice, change? Do I need to move? Do I need to respond? And how? And then once this insight, this guidance has been received, we let go of the emotion. It is gone. It no longer serves, no longer is relevant. So we forget about it and we move on lightly and freely, feeling guided and supported for our highest good. And as we experience glimpses of anger, fear, pain, they only last for as long as is needed for us to notice them and to receive their guidance, and then they disappear, leaving place to peace, confidence, clarity, power, strength. But how do we do that? How can we recover a clear emotional guidance system free from pollution, distortions, interferences from the emotions of the past? Well, this is where our emotional mode of operation comes into play. And there are 5 types of emotional modes of operation. Emotional mastery is one of them, and the one with the highest vibration, the one that brings the greatest outcomes in terms of well-being, intuitive power, and personal and spiritual growth and evolution. Emotional mastery is also the healthy mode of operation because it is all about leveraging emotions for what they were intended to be, which means coming back to our most natural design. So that would be healthy, right? Now it's healthy also because emotions are the source of every and any problem, any symptom, any manifestation in the body, in the mind, in life in general, overload or overwhelm, lack of self-confidence or self-esteem, life crisis, depression, addiction, pain, physical illness, injuries, or other health problems, trauma, phobia, suicidal state, experience of stuckness or chaos, identity issues and confusion, conflicts and issues in relationships, burnout, and any patterns of behavior, blocks, or obstacles experienced in life. The deepest roots of all these issues are found in emotions, emotional burdens, emotions unattended to, calling or screaming for attention, for care, for release. Which means when these emotions are finally addressed, the symptoms, the problems, the manifestations that were nothing but a call, a cry for help, they no longer have any purpose, any reason to remain, and they can disappear. So that is true healing, healing at the root, at the cause, and that would be healthy for sure. Now, there are 4 other types of emotional modes of operation other than emotional mastery. These other 4 types are actually detrimental modes of operation, each in their own way, and they are the following: emotional denial and suppression. Denying or suppressing your emotions. This leads to many, many diseases, sickness, injuries, damaging your emotional, mental, and physical health. Health issues can be traced down to emotions that have been stuck and stuffed inside, possibly in previous generations, possibly in previous lifetimes, or earlier in this lifetime. And as these emotions want to be freed, want to be liberated, the only way they find to get our attention is through our body. And there we feel and notice them as symptoms, even though we don't always know that this pain or this disease is an expression of an unconscious emotion. Or we do not always want to acknowledge and face it. So this is not healthy. It is not a solution. I'm sure you will agree with that. Emotional resistance and control is another detrimental emotional mode of operation. Resisting and controlling your emotions takes a lot of energy. It is exhausting and draining. And besides, control is enforced. And at some point, the pressure becomes too strong to hold. And that's when you get out of control, freaking out, exploding, overreacting. That's definitely not healthy. Third, detrimental mode of operation, dramatic emotional expression. So we hear a lot about expressing your emotions. And yes, at the moment, it may bring some relief. A good yell, a good scream, punching pillows, a good cry. It does feel good on the moment. But sometime later in the day or even a few days later, we are back to where we were. That's not a true solution. That's instant relief that doesn't last because it doesn't address the root cause. Besides, it may feel good to the one who is doing the dramatic expression of their emotions, but it may not feel so good to their environment. Very often it turns into some spilling, even like throwing up toxic emotional substance, and the whole environment gets splashed. Dramatic emotional expression is allowing anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, despair to pour into any situation, any conversation and circumstance, polluting the environment while gaining nothing but a mere temporary relief. And the fourth detrimental emotional mode of operation is emotional avoidance and laissez-faire. Emotional laissez-faire is letting your emotions do what they will, holding you at their mercy without you having any authority over them. So you end up avoiding confrontation with your emotions or allowing yourself to be overly emotional at all times, and it's just the way it is. Now, most of us have not been trained in emotional mastery. That's not something we've learned in school, even though I personally hope that it will at some point be on the curriculum for all kids to learn and to grow into, and also passed on from generation to generation, as opposed to passing on dysfunctional emotional modes of operation. And we're working on that intention, and we need to show the way and demonstrate the benefits. So back to the mode of operation of emotional mastery. It is actually based on the 4 pillars of emotional awareness, emotional acceptance, fruitful interaction with emotions, and emotional purification. Being aware of your emotions, accepting them just as they are, interacting with them in a fruitful way, which means to collect their precious wisdom and guidance, and purification, clearing the residue. This masterful emotional mode of operation restores the quality and the purity of your emotional waters. Yes, emotional waters. This is how I like to call our emotional realm, since water is the element of emotions. And just like water, our emotions can be pure or tainted or even polluted or muddy. They may be fluid, flowing, or they may be stagnant, stuck, or frozen. They may even be light, like a mist or steam. So it is by installing these 4 pillars of awareness, acceptance, fruitful interaction, and purification. 4 pillars of our highest emotional mode of operation. By installing these, we become true emotional masters. Simply and naturally, it becomes embedded in our being. Now, as emotional masters, we gain tremendous intuitive mastery under the combination of 2 factors. So let me clarify this. How does emotional mastery support your intuitive mastery? The first factor is that with emotional mastery, we experience the emotions of the moment and their guidance system, free from the distortions of the emotions from the past. That's the core of emotional mastery. So great intuitive power through this guidance system. The second factor, as our emotional waters purify and lighten up, we gain access to a much greater ability to consciously receive subtle messages, insights, energies. Our clair senses, which used to be clogged by the overload with the emotions from the past, screaming to be heard, to be noticed, to be acknowledged and released. Well, our clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience become more masterful, being much more able to pick up the subtle vibrations with clarity and to interpret them with accuracy. The non-physical realms to which we tune in with our intuitive senses are subtle by essence, and we can only really access their pure messages, insights, and wisdom when we are in a state of emotional quietness, which we need to cultivate in order to allow for our subtle, clear abilities to truly open themselves. Have you noticed how difficult it is to connect to and communicate with your higher self when you're in an emotional storm, when your emotions are raging, screaming, and it seems that that's when you need your higher self the most, right? And when you can least access it. Well, when your emotional mode of operation has the solid and healthy foundation of emotional awareness, emotional acceptance, fruitful interaction with your emotions, emotional purification, that's when your higher self becomes able to be there for you when you need it the most. So do yourself a favor and do your higher self a favor. Become an emotional master. Obviously, there are many more benefits, all the benefits of increasing your emotional, mental, and physical health, enhancing your intuitive power with clarity, precision, and accuracy, flowing more love into all your relationships, and greater spiritual evolution. Now, until we know better, we operate in the best way that we can, and it is mostly unconscious. Our emotional mode of operation is like a program that is run by our unconscious mind according to what it knows to do and how it knows to do it. And the time has come now to uninstall the old, obsolete, outdated, and toxic programs and to install emotional mastery as the new program. And this brings us to a clear connection with our higher self, without the pollution, the noise, the excess baggage. We are more in tune with our intuition overall. And obviously, we are clearly guided by and directed by our emotional guidance system. But also, we receive higher insights. We are connected to higher parts of ourselves. Health issues are healed as we are more in tune with ourselves. I mentioned earlier how health issues are rooted in emotions. So when they get unrooted with emotional release and purification, then there is healing. And also we enjoy clear connections with others. And the chaos and issues in our life slow down and can even disappear. Layer by layer, it is the restricting ego self that is shrinking, that is weakened and being put in the background. That tough skin which made us separate from ourselves, separate from others, separate from the universe, separate from spirit, it dissolves. And with each layer, we become more and more of what we truly are. And we experience ourselves as what we truly are, which is the divine in a human body. That is the truth of who we really are, each of us. All we need to do to know so and to be so is to shed the skin, the shield, the protection, the separation, the clothing of the little ego and to allow ourselves to step into the full magnificence of our unique expression of the divine in a human body. This is the true promise of emotional mastery. And I'm here to guide and support you with this. So let me share with you what I've created. Created a special offer for you. Lighten up your emotions. Embrace and pioneer a new emotional paradigm. So you have the link to the special offer page on your webcast page, or if you are on the replay, just scroll down the page to review all the details about this brand new package. If you're on the phone, go to gracefulconnections.com/Sophie3EMO. gracefulconnections.com/SOPHIE digit 3 EMO, all in one word, Sophie 3 EMO. So let me start with option 2. So scroll down the page for option 2. Upgrade your emotional paradigm. A 4-workshop series along with a bonus emotional detox protocol. And through this workshop series, we'll unroot one by one the 4 foundations of your old emotional modes of operation, and will install the high purpose, high vibration foundations of your new emotional paradigm: awareness, acceptance, fruitful interaction, and purification. And the protocol for each workshop is that I will call forth the highest, the purest light of the great central sun for healing, dissolution, and revelation. Bring the orb of truth for revelation and recollection of the treasures of wisdom that are held at the roots of the karmic entanglements. And clear the karmic entanglements with the guidance and support of the Lipika, the scribes of karma, and will clear in your aura relating to this current incarnation, in your past timeline, in your genealogical maternal line, in your genealogical paternal line. You'll release the karmic entanglements that keep you in loops and patterns of your old emotional mode of operation. And then I will guide you to adopt and install your new upgraded emotional mode of operation. So upon completion of this workshop series, unrooting and undoing emotional denial and suppression in workshop 1, emotional resistance and control in workshop 2, dramatic emotional expression in workshop 3, and emotional avoidance and laissez-faire in workshop 4. Well, at the end of this series, you'll finally be operating according to your new paradigm of emotional mastery, established with the 4 high vibrational foundations of awareness, acceptance, fruitful interaction, and purification. Now, option 2, this is option 2, right? The workshop series. Option 1 in the package includes this option 2, this 4 workshop series, plus the bonus that I'll talk about in just a moment. And in option 1, you have a private session, crystalline karmic liberation from old paradigm. And this is for you if you're experiencing being trapped in loops, patterns, beliefs, and experiences of emotional old paradigm, operating in old, obsolete, outdated ways, and yet it is stronger than you. You can't seem to pull yourself out of it and to embrace the new high vibrational ways that you dream of. So we'll get together in private session to liberate you from the karmic entanglements of old paradigm in your aura, in your past timeline, in your genealogical maternal line, and in your genealogical paternal line, very thoroughly, very systematically, collecting the precious karmic lessons at each of the points of origin in each of those lines, allowing you to become an agent of divine service, demonstrating and modeling the synergy of your ascending emotional body together with your activating light body, offering sparks and streams of divine wisdom for you to share with the world, and gifts of blessings and healing flowing to and flowing through your being. So private session in option 1, in addition to the 4 workshop series that is in option 2. And with both options, you have a bonus emotional detox protocol. That's 3 audios and a PDF. So you'll be equipped to proceed to a deep emotional release after gaining awareness of your emotions to be purged. And you'll be able to do this as often as you need. This will become a precious resource to have and to return to as you make the shift into emotional mastery. So I hope you'll join me on this program, option 2, 4 workshop series, and the bonus emotional detox protocol, for live workshops and replays. And option 1, all of that plus your private session, Crystalline Karmic Liberation from Old Paradigm. Now, to allow you to identify your emotional mode of operation, I want to offer an experience right now. An emotional mode of operation checkup within the Orb of Truth. So you're going to receive an Orb of Truth that will be placed around your aura. And within this safe, sacred space, you'll be prompted with questions to explore your emotional mode of operation. Is it a specific type or hybrid? And does it support or hinder your intuition? So let's do this. You can close your eyes if you want, and of course, if it is safe for you to do so. And turn your attention inwards. And I invite you to relax and take a few deep breaths. Bring all your attention, all your presence back here and now. Remembering your connection to the center, to the heart of the earth. And your connection to the center, to the heart of the universe. So that you are held, both grounded and suspended. You are safe, relaxed, and ready, and open to receive. Now, as I tune into the galactic center, I call the orb of truth to be placed around your aura. And you can claim it now, out loud or silently. I welcome and receive the orb of truth around my aura. And I'm offering this orb of truth, placing it around your aura. Feeling and bathing your aura in this highest, this purest vibration of truth. Holding you safe, protected, informed, in this truthful, high vibrational space. Allow any adjustments to this highest vibration of truth that need to happen. Let them just happen naturally. Within your body, your heart, your mind, your whole being. Being held in truth. Now let's bring in questions to begin the exploration, the discovery and revelation, proceeding to your emotional mode of operation checkup. Within the orb of truth, ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent do you tend to deny and suppress your emotions. Burying them within. Do you tend to deny and suppress all unpleasant emotions, or only specific ones? Anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, despair. Do you tend to deny and suppress your emotions in specific contexts or situations or in relation to specific people? Or just across the board? Ask your higher self to allow you to notice. And what else do you need to know about your denial and suppression of your emotions? And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent and in what ways denial and suppression of your emotions affect your intuition, your clair senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and so on. Your connection to your higher self and to the divine. And breathe. Within the orb of truth, ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent do you tend to resist and control your emotions. Do you tend to resist and control all pleasant, unpleasant emotions, or only specific ones? Anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, despair. And do you tend to resist and control your emotions across the board or in specific contexts or situations or in relation to specific people? And what else do you need to know about your resistance to and control of your emotions? And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent and in what ways resistance to and control of your emotions affect your intuition, your clear senses, your connection to your higher self and to the divine. And breathe. Within the orb of truth, ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent do you tend to dramatically express your emotions. And do you tend to dramatically express all unpleasant emotions or only specific ones? Anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, despair. And do you tend to dramatically express your emotions in general or in specific contexts or situations or in relation to specific people? And what else do you need to know about your dramatic expression of your emotions? And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent and in what ways dramatic expression of your emotions affects your intuition, your clear senses, your connection to your higher self and to the divine. And breathe. Within the orb of truth, ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent and in what ways do you tend to emotional laissez-faire, avoiding confrontation with your emotions, letting them hold you at their mercy without you having any authority over them. Allowing yourself to be overly emotional at all times, and it's just the way it is. I'm just emotional. That's how I am. And do you tend to emotional laissez-faire in general, with all unpleasant emotions, or only specific ones? Anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, despair. And do you tend to emotional laissez-faire across the board in general, or in specific contexts or specific situations, or in relation to specific people? And what else do you need to know about your emotional laissez-faire? And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent and in what ways emotional laissez-faire affects your intuition, your clear senses, your connection to your higher self and to the divine. And breathe. Within the orb of truth, Ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent do you tend to emotional mastery, with emotional awareness, acceptance, fruitful interaction, and purification. Do you tend to emotional mastery with all unpleasant emotions or only specific ones? Anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame, despair. And do you tend to emotional mastery overall or in specific contexts or situations or in relation to specific people? And what else do you need to know about your emotional mastery? And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent and in what ways emotional mastery affects your intuition, your clear senses, your connection to your higher self and to the divine. And breathe. Within the orb of truth, ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent do you run a hybrid emotional mode of operation, combining all or some of emotional denial and suppression, resistance and control, dramatic expression, avoidance and laissez-faire, and emotional mastery. And what else do you need to know about your emotional mode of operation? And ask your higher self to allow you to perceive to what extent and in what ways your emotional mode of operation affects your intuition, your clear senses, your connection to your higher self and to the divine. And breathe. Coming back to here and now. Take a moment to make mental notes of the awareness that you have gained, the status of your emotional mode of operation, whether a specific type or hybrid, and how it affects your intuition, and where your higher self has been calling your attention. And breathe. Well done. Well done for acknowledging all that came to the surface. It takes courage to face it all, so well done for being willing to notice all that you have noticed. Be open to more insights coming to your attention in the next few hours and days, as these questions may keep poking you. For now, we give gratitude to the orb of truth and allow it to remain and surround us and hold us in truth for as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. And you're welcome to share your experience, your findings in the Q&A box on the web. If you're on the webcast, I'd love to know what was revealed to you. If you want to share, you're very welcome. Thank you. And we'll complete this emotional mode of operation checkup with a gift of a power claiming key. So as I offer it to you, I invite you to be in the receiving, being attentive to the responses that you get in your body, your mind, your heart, your whole being. And I'll repeat it a couple times so that it really settles within you and you can adopt it as the mantra of your heart. Here is your power claiming key. Even if I don't know how, I intend to upgrade my emotional paradigm for my highest good, my evolution, and in service to the highest good of all. And I ask to be guided and supported. Even if I don't know how, I intend to upgrade my emotional paradigm for my highest good, my evolution, and in service to the highest good of all. And I ask to be guided and supported. And one more time, and you're welcome to join me and claim it for yourself. Even if I don't know how, I intend to upgrade my emotional paradigm for my highest good, my evolution, and in service to the highest good of all. And I ask to be guided and supported. And breathe. Beautiful. So let me wrap up now, inviting you all to gracefulconnections.com/Sophie3EMO, SOPHIE digit 3 EMO, all in one word. Or click on the button or the link on your webcast page. If you're on the replay page, just scroll down for lighten up your emotions. Option 1 is the session package with the private session Crystalline Karmic Liberation from Old Paradigm, plus the workshop series and the bonus Emotional Detox Protocol. That's 3 audios and a PDF. Option 2 is the workshop series Upgrade Your Emotional Paradigm. Workshop 1 from emotional denial and suppression to awareness. Workshop 2 from emotional resistance and control to acceptance. Workshop 3 from dramatic emotional expression to fruitful interaction. And workshop 4 from emotional avoidance and laissez-faire to purification. And your bonus Emotional Detox Protocol, that's 3 audios and a PDF. Prior to each workshop and your private session, you receive detailed instructions from me on how to best prepare for the clearing, gaining in-depth awareness of the obsolete modes of operation that will be liberated in that workshop or session. So this will allow you to gain the deepest possible liberation and outcomes in the smoothest possible way. And of course, there will be replays. If you can't join live, you can set up your replays on your schedule at your convenience to recreate the experience and the outcomes of a live call. You have a 2-payment option and 3-payment option. I hope you will join. Really, I do. Emotional mastery is a requirement for your intuitive clarity, intuitive precision, and accuracy. These demand emotional awareness, acceptance, fruitful interaction, and purification. So, let's do this together. Now let's take a moment to be present once again to the orb of grace. Allowing it to remain there, holding us, holding all we have received, discovered, experienced today, all that we're not even yet aware we have received, allowing it to sink in, to settle in, holding us in grace for as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. And I'm closing by giving gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace and the calling of your emotional paradigm to be upgraded to mastery, supporting and empowering your intuitive mastery. Gratitude to Christel Hughes and the Academy for the Soul for offering this platform in which graceful connections grow and expand, impacting our lives, our environment, and the world at large. Gratitude to the Orb of Grace and the Orb of Truth for providing a safe, sacred space for this journey of exploration. Gratitude for all the grace we are blessed with at every moment. Whether we are aware of it or not, it offers all the nourishment, the nurturing, the healing, the revelations, the realizations we open our hearts to receive all along this journey. Gratitude to our higher selves and all the higher beings who guide, support, and protect us. And gratitude to the divine. Thank you. Until we meet again, many graceful blessings to you all. Goodbye now.